Yes. Yes, Anamika ma'am, you can start.
Yeah. What is the link for YouTube? Is it same? Uh, Ravi? Okay. Okay, it's
I'll
same.
send you.
Okay, I see.
1 second, I'll
I
send
saw
you.
it. It's same.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same.
I see. I got it.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. I can see so many chats happening here.
Oh, there
I,
are chats there. I cannot see it.
yeah, I'm Ravi Kiran, and here it is Anamika.
Ravi, I don't see any chat here. Can you send me the link? Can you send me the link of YouTube?
I'll send you the link.
Yeah. Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Anamika Chabra. I'm pleased to be talking to you, and I welcome you all to this session on social networks course. So we hope that you are learning a lot of things through the course, and whatever you have learned, we are sure that you will be able to apply these concepts to real world situations. That's our hope, and we would like to know from you if there is any problem that you're facing, and also we would also like to know the things that you actually liked in the course, that is to get the sort of candid feedback from you people, so that we can improve the next runs of the course. So it'll be nice that if you can write the feedback points in the right hand side chat window. Ravi, can you share with me the link of the YouTube, because I don't see any chats here. I need to access the chats to be able to answer the questions.
Yes, I'm sending you that.
This just made me. Okay. Yeah. So meanwhile, okay, we'll have Dr. Sudarshan joining with us in a very little while. Meanwhile, I'll be taking on the questions that you people shared with us through the Google form. I'll be taking a look at these questions and will be answering. Meanwhile, you just type your questions in the chat window. Okay. Okay. Okay, so we have this question from Arka Prabha Das. She's saying, with this course almost coming to an end, what will be the best course of action to take if one wants to apply all the knowledge gathered into data sets generated in the world and work in the industry? Okay, so I guess you want to know, now the course is getting over, yeah? So what should be the next step? What should you do? And how can you apply this knowledge to the real world? I guess that's what is your question. So I guess that depends on what your background is and what your future plans are. Since you have not written that, I'll be just giving you a general answer. So basically, I don't know if you're okay. You've written you're a student. All right, you are a student. So if you want to go into the research, I would say that it's really nice that you have taken up this course, because this course basically teaches you the concepts. I won't say it goes very much into advanced. There are a lot of other things as well, but yes, you do get a good understanding of what sort of things that you can measure in the data sets of the networks. So I think it does a pretty decent job of getting you started with doing the real work on the networks. So I'm sure you would have learned all these concepts as to what sort of patterns you can see in given a network, or what is I mean, you can see the clustering coefficient. You can see how nodes are, how what sort of communities exist, right? So that's just the first step to get you into the network. So I see networks all around. There are networks so there are road networks. There are social networks, of course, that you're studying. So Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. So everything is there, right? Rishi, Ravi, you're there, right? Ravi, you're there. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear
Okay.
you.
Okay. Okay. All right. So I was telling you that we encounter networks everywhere, and given any situation, we might need to understand how to make sense out of it. So whenever you see a network, there is a structure, and when you understand, when you come to the analysis of that structure, you get to have more insights into the sort of associations that exist, right? So since we are currently talking about social networks, there we know Facebook is there, people are connected to each other. So what kind of meanings can we investigate out of that sort of structure that is existing? There is LinkedIn, which is very much pacing up these days. Twitter is of course there, and very much it's being used. So I think this is the right time to be doing the analysis of social networks. Yeah, so coming back to what should be the next plan of action. So again, I guess it depends whether you want to get into the research or you want to go into the industry. Even in industry, I see there are you can find networks in different scenarios. So okay, just to give you a perspective, I am working on Wikipedia, on the analysis of Wikipedia and Stack Overflow. So I don't know whether you can think that there can be any networks there or not, but let me tell you that apart from a lot of other things, there are networks in such situations as well, and we do need to analyze them. So all I'm trying to say is you do need to analyze the different connections between entities, and these entities could be people, they could be computers, they could be cities, they could be anything. So that sort of analysis you might require to do anywhere, even if you are in academia or you are in industry. So I guess I might have answered you to some extent. If not, please write your question in a little more detail if you want any more clarifications. Okay, so I'll take up another question that we have here in the forms. Internship results will be announced. Okay, you're asking, Mukul is asking, when would the internship results be announced? So, okay, it's not like that. It's not that we announce some sort of results. So the system goes like this. The top rankers, basically people who have scored at least 90% of the marks, they contact, if they are interested, they contact the instructors. So in case you are interested, if the result is out and you are amongst the top 10 people, you can, if you're interested, you can write to the professor, and then if the professor is interested, they will get back to you. So it goes like that. So all right, let me take the next question. Malika is asking, she was into software testing without code for about 3.5 years before quitting, and she recently started learning Python. She wants to switch to the development side, since she's saying that since I'm a beginner now, what resources can I use to learn Python to get a proficient level? Okay, Malika, I think, yeah, so you started learning Python. So if I'm not wrong, this course covers a good Python to a good extent, and to an extent that you can actually put the language into use. So I think this is the right time for you, that you are learning the language, as well as through the course you would have applied whatever you have learned into the actual situations. So let me tell you that we actually made this explicit effort to convert the concepts into code, so that it's actually so that you can actually see the things into practice. So I guess if you have gone through the course sincerely, you would have learned how to use the language concepts into practice. So I guess I would have answered you. You're asking me what resources you can use to learn Python. So there are pretty much a lot of resources. I don't think we can mention one or two resources. There are so many online courses, and I don't think there is any dearth of learning these days if you are interested. But still, if you want, we can share some online resources with you. We will do that. Amarjit Kumar is asking, I want to know that, is there any possibility to conduct a research by applying the concepts of social networks to identify the person who may be suffering from depression, okay, by analyzing some data sets of social networking sites such as Facebook? Okay. All right. Yeah, that's an interesting question, I guess, because you're actually you're thinking beyond the beyond what you have learned. You are thinking where you can put the concept into practice. So I guess it's really possible, because Facebook is basically containing a lot of data about the associations between people. And depression, if you want to analyze, you basically have to see the connections between people who are very much connected. It's actually not so directly proportional that they would be depressed. So basically you can find various signatures on their activities, what sort of activities they are doing. You can get some sort of clue. If in case they are contributing, you can get some sort of clue as to whether this person, what are the chances of this person getting depressed. So I guess you can find some sort of patterns if you analyze data from these websites. So I guess that's very much possible. And you can look into what sort of research is being done currently in this very field. I'm sure there might be people working in this field. Okay, next question is Rahul Kumar Mehta is asking, I've come to know that examination contains short answer, fill in the blanks. See, the question paper is going to be multiple choice question, MCQ. So I don't know where you got this information. So this is to inform you all that it is MCQ type and it is based on the assignments. So some people are also asking the pattern of the question paper. It'll be based on the assignment. So you'll be okay if you are comfortable with answering the questions given in the assignments and you have watched all the videos. That should be decent. Okay. Format of question paper people are asking, and how is the social network analysis to be done? Okay, that's a very general question. I'm not so sure I understood. Okay. I find a lot of questions on the pattern of the paper, which I think I have already covered. Some people are saying thanks for the wonderful course. Thank you. Again, I would just be checking the chat window. Please post your positive as well as negative comments out there so that we can improve this course further. Okay, I'll check more questions. Meanwhile, Ravi, can you tell them about the wiki, social network wiki? So there are notes being prepared by you all on social networks wiki. Ravi will spend a few minutes explaining you about all that. Over to Ravi.
Yeah, thank you so much, Anamika ma'am. Now I'll share my screen. I'll show them what SNWiki is all about. Okay, so the URL for that page is skilabs.org/SNWiki. This was mainly designed keeping in mind of the learner's aspective, because there was no such kind of activities which we wanted to happen in Google Groups. It was just question and answer. And here, as you can see, these are super notes, and these are maintained by learners, coach students. And there are 12, as you can see, there are 12 weeks. And for everything, you have super notes, FAQ section, discussion, ask a question, and assignment solution. So for this, you need to register. If you don't know this, you have to first register. You have to join SNWiki. And for this, you need only Google account. Since I already have an account, I'll just log in. Okay, so here are the super notes. Super notes for week 1. You have table of contents. You have prerequisites. Since week 1 was only Python prerequisites, you can see all Python prerequisites. I think these will come very handy for you in the preparation. And this is week 2 lecture notes. So this is quite exhaustive. And then week 3, week 4 is even descriptive than week 1 and week 2. So people have put the content from videos from the book suggested by the instructor, which is Networks, Crowds, and Market by Kleinberg. So week 3 is quite exhaustive. And you can see all these things. And there are FAQ section, discussion, ask a question section. Here it's a typical Q&A forum type where you can have threaded discussions. There are many question and answers. You can look through this. And the most interesting part is the assignment solution. Here, people come together, write the assignment solution, and here it is. So I hope you are able to see all these questions. Of course, not all assignments questions are answered here. So you can see that week 3, week 4, week 5, up to week 9 and 10, it was quite active. Now it is not very active, but I think in a couple of days, you might get everything till week 12. And there are many other student initiatives page like real world problems. Okay, and this is the page where you'll see all out of the box questions, not related to social networks, but quite off topic, but still people are finding time to edit these things and they are really enjoying this. Okay, and this is the analysis tools, external resources. And I would like to inform you that our star performance for SN Wiki is the top performer is actually Sahil Sarev. And then next comes Jivesh, Vivek, and Chaya. I thank everybody for maintaining such a notes. And there were more than 100 people actually contributing to SN Wiki. And many of them were just viewing and they were getting the benefits of just reading it, but quite of them were editing too. So this is a lesson. If you don't know what it is, please go through it. Definitely it will help you for your exam preparation. Yes, over to you, Anil. There are many questions in the chat box also. I think we can take a few questions from there as well.
Okay. Oh, I didn't take a look at that. All right. So coming back to the questions, I'll take one more question. You people are just a second. Okay. A few of you are asking the advanced topics for research in the area of social networks. So I'll just give you a brief of a couple of them, so that just to give you a perspective of it. A few advanced topics are centrality measures are there. Not so, I don't think we have covered them in the course, but these are this is another one of the important topics which you can look into, and maybe it's really a good topic for further research as well. So just to give you a small idea, I'll tell you there are different kinds of centrality measures. I'll just give you a difference between two of them: closeness centrality and betweenness centrality, right? So so if you have to plan where you should put a hospital in a city, let's talk about Chandigarh, for example. It's divided into various sectors, and you have to put a hospital in Chandigarh. A big government hospital is coming up, so of course you have to decide the right place for it, right? Because people have to use the services of the hospital, right? So in that context, there is closeness centrality and betweenness centrality. Closeness centrality measures how much close a given node is to the rest of the nodes, okay? And betweenness centrality measures on how many shortest paths this particular node is coming, shortest path between two other nodes, how many of such shortest paths a given node is coming on the way, right? So what do you think? You should measure the closeness centrality, or should you measure the betweenness centrality? Okay, that is one question. I'll give you the answer for it. Another similar situation is if you have to put a petrol pump in the city, what should be the right place for it? Okay, so petrol pump should be on the way, right? Because people are going, and if it is on the way, it will be helpful so that people can use it, okay? And if you have to put a hospital, it'd be nice if it is close to the rest of the sectors, to almost all the sectors, right? So you see the importance of understanding and analyzing such measures in a given setting. So I just gave you an example of a city setting, right? A city which is divided into sectors, how you can find the connections between the sectors, and how you can use this this structure of this network to for the betterment of the city itself. So this is just one example. Similarly, these concepts are used for knowledge building portals like Wikipedia and Stack Overflow. I'm sure you might be using these portals. So how we can improve them? For example, I think you have covered link prediction, right? So link prediction is used in Facebook. You might be knowing that you're getting a lot of friend requests. So basically, Facebook is just guessing that there might be a link between these two people, and there are a lot of techniques that are used under it. So there are a whole lot of directions that you can pursue if you basically are interested in doing research in this field. There is no dearth of it, and these days we have the networks are emerging everywhere. Facebook, LinkedIn is there, Twitter is there. So many settings are there where you might need to analyze such situations. So I guess there are a lot of options for you to pursue research. We have Dr. Sudarshan with us, and may we request him to join and interact with you people. Sir, can you hear me? Ravi, is sir around? Okay, Sudarshan sir will join us in a little while. Meanwhile, let me take a look at more. A lot of questions are there.
Sir will come after 5 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, Ravi, is there any other question which we can answer in the chat window? I'm just taking a look at them. So basically, you can let us know what else you would want us to answer, because I think I've pretty much covered the questions in the Google form that was shared with you.
They can tell their favorite topics as well as the
Yeah.
difficult
That's
topics which
what
they have faced.
I'm not so sure they've written about that in the chat window or not. Just take a look and let me know if there is anything that I should answer. Question pattern you're asking. So the pattern will be the same as the assignments, multiple choice question. There's no negative marking. Okay, research areas, I think I have covered a couple of them. Okay, one of you is asking how to get the data from Facebook. So there are ways to get your data from Facebook, and basically whatever data is public, you can access it. So there's some developer.facebook, some option is that I think I can share that with you. Yeah, there is developers.facebook.com, and then you create an account there, and basically you get an API key over there. I think that's called token. So you get the token from there, and you can write the code, and you have to use that token in that in your code. And there in Python you have Facebook API and a lot of other APIs that you can use. But anyway, you need this token which you get from developer.facebook.com. I think I can share a couple of resources with you if you really want to access the Facebook data. So you get whatever is public. Basically, you can get the events data, you can get the groups data, a whole lot of information you can get if you're interested. I'll just share that in the chat window. All right. Okay. If Ravi, any more questions that I can take up right now? Examination pattern we have discussed. Okay, is this topic helpful in data science field? Okay, I think data science field is very vast. Okay, and I don't think if you are onto solving any problem, you can demarcate fields like that. So I don't think, I mean, data science field separate as social networks. Of course, there are different concepts that you learn, and these concepts are applied to different settings. So let me tell you, when I'm doing my work, and when I'm solving some problem in my research, I might need to use both social network concepts and data science concepts, right? So as I was telling you that in Wikipedia, you have a connection between the articles. Okay, so all the articles are connected to each other, and there is an underlying huge network of articles. So that's one setting. Okay, and a second setting could be the connection between the users, right? So these users are contributing to different articles. So based on that, you can create associations between them. So if two users are contributing to the same article, you can put a link between them, and that sort of network you can get, and then you can analyze that, right? And similarly on Stack Overflow, you have people, of course, the most obvious network is questioners and answerers, right? If A is answering B's question, then you put a link between them and it'll be a directed network. So that sort of network emerges. Similarly, there are other things like commenting, editing each other's posts. So all I'm trying to say is that there are different sort of networks that emerge. And coming back to your question about data science. So when I'm doing my work, when I'm solving some problem, I do use data science concepts. I might use clustering. I might use communities detection. So all these concepts I might need to use. So it's not that you can just separate them out. So you might need any concept to solve your problem at hand. Okay, so we have Dr. Sudarshan with us. Maybe over to him for the rest of the queries from your side. Meanwhile, I'll check the chats.
Thanks, Anamika. The questions, the examples that you used were wonderful, and the points you addressed were also very good. So, are there any particular questions that you would want me to answer, Ravi and Anamika? I can go ahead with a brief 15-minute session on social networks that you all are supposed to know based on my little wisdom.
I'm taking a look at the chat.
Yeah,
I'll just let you know.
Just give me a minute's break, Anamika. I'll be back. You just carry on.
Okay.
Just a minute's break.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay, Ravi, any question that we can handle? Okay, people are thanking for the clear understanding of the concepts at the programming level. Yes, we are glad that we were able to make you understand things. Teaching methodology was really good. Very nice to know that from you. Okay, what next after this course? Yeah, that's a natural question.
One of the most common
One of the
questions
most
there.
common question, and quite natural one as well. So I don't know. I'm really happy that you people took up this course, and now you are aware of how to, if a network is given to you, you can take care of it. I mean, that's how I see it, because different. There are different settings where the networks can exist, and getting real world data sets. I think week 2 itself was there, where how to get data from different sources, and how you can handle them in different formats, right? That all was covered. So if a data is given where there is connections between different nodes and different kinds of nodes, they could be anything, right? So you know that patterns are there. Given the structure of a network, there are hidden things that do exist. So I think you are in that stage that you can analyze such sort of things. Now what to do next basically depends on your background as well as your future plans. I'm not so sure about that, so only we can give a general perspective on this. So in research, there is a lot of research which is going on, and you can delve into any direction. So there are many directions. So okay, if you want to get into this field, I don't know to what extent you have read this book, NCM, Networks, Crowds and Markets, by Kleinberg. So that's a standard book, but the thing is, why I'm referring this book to you again, if you want to get into any field, you have the references there, right? So you can choose the topic. If any topic interests you, just get into that, and you can see the references, you can read those papers, and then those papers, once you start reading the papers, you get to know what more is being done, right? So that way you can get deep into into this field, is all I can say, right? Okay, sir is back. I think over to sir now.
So hi people, again thank you, Anamika. So there were some questions that Anamika addressed, and I'm not so sure whether I can give answers as well as the way it was given by Anamika and also Ravi. So I'll try my level best to make it as interesting as possible. So I see some of the frequently asked questions about what to do next, research and things like that. So firstly, yes, hi to everyone. I see a lot of people saying hi. Amarjeet, hi. Many people said hi when I came previously, but then I had to quickly go back and come. So okay, so Motilal has a question which I think is important that we address. Why not have examination on programming assignments? Why not have assignments in programming? See, programming is slightly difficult for us to evaluate, and even at the exam level, if we have programming, if something goes wrong, then it'll go wrong at a large scale. And we may also end up not being fair in terms of re-evaluation and things like that. So we thought we'll avoid programming. But then if you see, our course is intensely programming based. So you see Anamika and Yati giving you a screencast of all the code, right? I don't know of a social networks course online where they do this amount of enormous programming. Thanks to my the help that I got from my PhD students, they've done good amount of coding. So it will not be possible in the near future, at least. But let's see if NPTEL can come out with ways in which we can scale to the population. Then we will definitely try to do it. So I will tell you something that I actually like about this course compared to the other two courses that I'm offering. One is discrete mathematics, the other one is the joy of computing with Python. The mass that gets accumulated here for social networks course is a different kind of mass. I see that most of you people are sort of, programming, you understand computer science to some extent, and you're here with some maturity. And even the kind of questions you people ask are sort of way nicer than the questions we get in a typical first-time programming course. That makes it interesting in the sense that I like participating in discussions such as this. But this time we could not handle hangout sessions more often than what we thought we should. In fact, we handled none except this. Maybe next semester onwards, we'll try to make it more organized and more frequent. So that said, I would like to address a few FAQs that you people were asking. How to take up a research question and then work on a problem. See, there are two ways in which you can take up something advanced. One is, let me give you an example. Assume you are gifted with a nice bike or a nice car. You don't know how to ride it or drive it. You start learning it, right? That's one way. Another way is you start learning, you start driving, and then you buy one, right? These are two different things. So these two things have their own pros and cons, but let me elaborate the parallel in research. When you see a problem that really interests you, that really excites you, you go around it and then try to fetch as much of information as possible about the problem, and you finally attempt a solution. Okay, that's one thing. Second thing is you learn social networks and try to be on the hunt for a problem, right? So in one situation, you go on a hunt for a problem. In another situation, you have a problem in hand, you go on the hunt for ways in which you can solve it. Okay, it's always a good idea to use the second method than the first method. Okay, so our course that way may not help you pick a research topic. Our course probably will enable you with the right basics so that if you encounter a problem in this domain, you will be in a better position to solve it or understand it or apply an existing technique. Okay, for example, the community detection algorithm that we teach is sort of a very standard algorithm which keeps appearing in one form or the other. Okay. For example, to quote what my student was saying just now, in her own work, she was looking at Wikipedia data and she wanted to cluster the data. So clustering is very close to community detection. Clustering in the sense that happens on a non-graph kind of environment, but clustering is in a friendship network-like environment. Right. So, and it came out as it was a newcomer in her research, and she didn't know how to handle it. But she knew about clustering, and she could quickly relate to it. And then she tried writing a code, and it made sense. Similarly, there are some standard ideas that you may want to know in social networks. And when you encounter a new problem, you will not be sort of perplexed. You will understand how to handle it. But then, all this said, there could be situations where you see a problem and you don't know any technique that will come in handy, and you are unable to use the existing techniques there. Okay, so as they say, there can also be this curse that when you have a hammer in hand, everything looks like a nail. You will be trying to fit in the same old knowledge that you have gained from the course in situations that might call for a different perspective. So, moral of the story is that you must get in touch with experts. Maybe you start wondering and saying, it doesn't take you to tell us that we should get in touch with experts. It's only obvious. But then when you talk to experts, the first thing they'll ask is, how much of subject do you know? Right? So for that, if you have a certificate from, let's say, an NPTEL course, they know for sure that you have understood some good amount of networks, clouds, and market, which is like the authoritative book in the subject by Tadeusz Kleinberg and Weisling, right? So if you have read this book, then you are really through to start off with your research. And if you read a paper, you will not get bounced here and there. It will be a cool read mostly. Most of the papers will be very well understandable. Okay, so if you look at this paper, there was a 2007 paper. I'm sorry, I forget the name of the author, but the title will be is very easy. You can Google for it. The Future of Social Networks. Okay, if you read this paper, the author points out what would actually be the future of social networks. Okay, and what surprised me is that whatever the paper says will be the future of social networks did not happen. At least in my observation, it did not happen. They said something, the field went in some other direction. So it's important for us to observe that it is tough for us to say what is important next, what to look at next, right? It is good to understand the basics and be on the hunt for a problem. And to be on the hunt for the problem, you should be in touch with the experts. To be in touch with the experts, you should understand the subject well, which, by the way, we have tried our best to offer you a course which has good combination of math, good combination of, let's say, computer science, and good amount of programming as well. Okay. So coming to the next soft questions that you may have, you see, social networks as a subject, it is not, Anamika said, it's close to data sciences, right? Close to data sciences, in fact, it is also a branch of data sciences. When you have a lot of data, okay, you should understand how to make sense out of it. And the data that comes as a graph G of V, E, is a different kind of data. And people have seen that this data is very rich in the sense that it could help us answer a question which is seemingly unrelated to graph G for that matter, the question of searching, right? Searching and ranking. What should be displayed first when you search depends on what is the kind of graph that you have on this search space. Now, that is a very counterintuitive thing that people explored, and that's why search engines today stand tall. Google still has this patented idea of how to search on a network of pages and how to rank them based on importance, correct? So the underlying graph plays a major role, number one. Number two example is, if you look at what movie to watch next, okay, there is some sort of a network of, let's say, you may want to look at your friendship network. That's like a new hot and happening line of research, where if you want to see whether you will watch this movie next, it depends on what movies you have watched before and whom you are friends with. Whom you are friends with will probably tell me what are your interests and what will you be doing next. So friendship network that way is very important. To understand your political inclinations, to understand your money spending pattern, it's important to see what, you remember the first few chapters of our NPTEL course. We say, tell me who your friend is and we'll tell you who you are, right? So that way networks really matters in the sense that it tells you more information than what is visible at a second layer. Okay. So I also would like to quote biologists in general. They thought, what else is remaining in biology? Then they realized that we had never, this was some 80 years ago, 80, 90 years ago. They realized that biology had never had anything to do with physics and mathematics. Maybe an application of physics and mathematics in biology would be the next new direction. And several Nobel Prizes were won in this direction, called Quantitative Biology, okay, on one side. Now, there was sociology. People, again, asked a similar kind of question. Do you think there is some kind of math or computer science that one can use in sociology? The answer was social networks. Right? People have been working on graphs and what it, the Zacharias-Karate network, if you people remember, we covered that in the course. People have been talking about very, very small graphs, but it took computer science to come and offer very big graphs for people to crunch data and make sense out of. Something that people thought was not even existing. For example, the Milgram's experiment back then in 1967, if you remember the small world phenomena that we teach in our course, that was known to be a myth. People didn't know that 6 degrees of separation is actually a fact. But today, you can quickly verify that it's a fact through email networks that are available. Right? So sometimes two subjects may have to branch in to give answers to an unanswered bunch of questions. So yeah, I think I have given you rough concluding ideas of the kind of wisdom that you must carry from the course. So be open-minded. Just to summarize, the subject is interesting, combination of different topics. If you want to work something advanced, get in touch with the expert and tell him that you have finished a course like this. And remember my bike example. There are 2 ways to start your research. I would suggest you start your research by finding a problem that really interests you, and then going on the hunt for how to solve it, then going on the hunt for a problem itself. Okay, so good. If in case you guys have any particular questions for me, particularly for me, please do shoot and I'll be very happy to answer. So certain questions like job opportunities and placements and things like that, I'm very sorry, we are not in a position to answer that question. But to the best of what I know, there's a big market for data sciences today, and social networks is part of data sciences, and there is no dearth for good jobs. I'm sure the market, you just take a look at some of the industry questions that people are trying to answer. You will see the impact of data sciences, social networks, machine learning, particularly. Why don't we use Python 3x, says Motilal Chauhan. So Python 3 version 3.x we were interested to use, but then back then when the course was offered back in 2017, right, Anamika? 2017, 2.x was popular and 3 was just then released and people were using it. And we thought it was always compatible and we went ahead and then used it. But a couple of places it's not compatible. But then it doesn't matter. You guys can fix it. How you use a print statement is a trivial task. It's a little different in version 2.x as compared to 3.x, which you can fix it. So with time, maybe if we plan to re-offer this course with a modified version, we may want to use 3.x for our next course. Why do you reset contents of SN Wiki, says Jeevesh Juneja? That's a nice question. In fact, that's only counterintuitive that why do you want to delete the existing textbook and create a new textbook when the existing textbook is doing good? So we are also conducting a research experiment on how people get together and then construct, build knowledge. In that connection, we had to delete the previous semester's content. But then, sometimes it brings in fresh outlook in terms of the facts that we assimilate when we delete the previous facts, so that there's no bias in new knowledge. Anyways, Jeevesh, if you want access to the previous year's data, I think we should be able to give you. But then for social networks, this is the first time I think we have SN Wiki at this scale. The last time the SN Wiki experiment was not very helpful, right? We are offering another course called JOC, Joy of Computing. That data was very helpful. We had collected quite some data, but in social networks, I don't think we collected a lot of data. Okay. Okay, so Saujanya says, please ask assignment-related question. That's right. So I'll be finding it difficult to find out what's the question 8 of week 10. Amarjit, so please ask on the wiki portal. We'll answer it. Okay, Jeevesh Juneja, please talk to me after the nice that someone points me out that he was using SN Wiki extensively. Jeevesh Juneja, please stay back after the discussion. I would like to talk to you personally. Anyone else who have been the top contributors on the SN Wiki till date of any week for that matter? If you're around, please ping me personally and we can have a chat right now, maybe the next 5 minutes. Okay. Okay, how do we solve convergence problems during exams as we used spreadsheet and code? I don't think convergence, I don't understand this What is the convergence problem, Anamika?
I think they are asking like page rank converges, right? After some time. So but I don't think we have been asking, or we would be asking those sort of questions, right?
I get the point.
When would it converge? Yeah.
I get the point. So, yeah, very good, very good. Now I remember. So convergence, we tried showing it on spreadsheet because it was interesting and nice to play around the spreadsheet, right? So I don't think we'll be asking spreadsheet-like questions in the examination. So don't worry about that part. Follow-up courses, says Vivek Kumar Singh. Yes, we are very interested in offering a proper data science course starting from January 2020. It should mostly be up and going by the end of this year, although I cannot promise because I'm only 99% sure that it will be offered. If it's offered, I'll let you all know. I have your email addresses. We'll post a mail to, in fact, NPTEL will be posting mail to you people of the new courses. Please be on the lookout of it. You will definitely get it. I mean, we will notify you of it. Okay, many questions. Follow-up courses I'm done. Okay, so Aditi Gupta asks an interesting question. Average of 6 nodes was in 1970s, right? As of now, the world is becoming more globalized and there's internet. Has that distance of 6 nodes become even less? So Aditi Gupta, this is a very interesting question. Let me rephrase the question. The distance between any two people in the world happens to be 6, but then world is shrunk given the internet, right? This is a standard question in social networks. The answer is it continues to be 6. It has not reduced. Because you see, if you take the Facebook friendship network, it can be even 5 or 4. But then do you really think you know everyone on the Facebook friend list that you have? No, right? So this is based on a very popular belief that every person has around 130, 140 friends only because of the size of his, what is called the hippocampus. Okay, so bigger the hippocampus, more the friends, smaller the hippocampus, less the friends. There's a research result, this is called a Dunbar's number. Take a look at it. I may not be quoting it right. My statistics, my numbers may not really be accurate, but then roughly speaking, it's about one of your brain regions, and it's correlated to the number of friends you can have. So technology has changed, but your brain has remained the same. Right? So it has not grown bigger. So as long as the brain is of this size, the number of friends one can make, intense friendships, will also be constant. And as long as this is a constant, the number of 6 is sort of a fixed number unless or until the population of the world grows massively. I don't think 6 will change. So this should be a really nice question for the examination. I have answered it here, so we cannot ask it in the final examination. Good question. Maybe in the next semester we'll ask this question. So Motilal Chauhan says, why are you not active on Twitter? Okay, that's a personal question. I'll answer you later. Okay. Okay. No, any more questions? How to approach professors for the research opportunities. So Vivek Kumar Singh asks how to approach professors. This is like a management question, but still I'll answer. Given that I can tell you how I reply to the mails that I get. When a student sends an email with very sharp and polished English, I invariably hit the delete button because except good English, there will be nothing in the resume. So what I expect to see is do you have enough knowledge about the topic that you're talking about, and do you have you pursued some study? Do you have some nice questions in mind, even stupid questions, but do you have questions in mind? So for example, people will write to me and say, sir, I'm very interested in social networks. I don't know anything about the subject, but I'll work hard. So such kind of mails are generally not seen as CS mails from the professors. They will not acknowledge it. But a mail such as this, sir, I have found the domain social networks very interesting. I have been reading this subject for the past 6 months. I've also undergone a course in social networks from so and so place. You know, people are better not writing down whatever I'm saying. Don't you? On these lines you can write is what I meant. I would be interested to work on this topic. I have done some reading about this very topic. It really fascinates me because, it should not just say fascinates me. It fascinates me because the problem remains unsolved. I saw a couple of research results. They're very interesting. Analysis is very deep. So I would like to work on this topic, and your topic seems to be on the same lines as my interest. So I think I will benefit a lot if I work with you, and also I think I'll be able to give you my best, right? So in the mutual interest, I would like to come and work with you. Will be a nice email to send, and not I'm interested in this topic, I will work hard, please take me, I have no other go, I will be left out with no opportunities if you don't take me, blah blah blah, long resume, I play football, I'm good at painting, etc., etc., should not be written. Anyways, okay, so yeah, thank you. We'll wait for your course on data sciences. Sure, Amarjit, that's pretty much it from my side. If you guys have any more questions, in particular, you can ask me. Otherwise, we'll bid bye. It's always been fun talking to social networks course takers. I like the maturity level of the audience. The kind of questions you people ask are not the typical FAQ types. Okay, so those people who have been editing the SN Wiki, maybe if you can point them out to me, Ravi, we can have a separate session with them in the next 5 minutes.
Sure, sir, sure.
Okay. Anything else, Anamika? Anything else, Ravi Kiran?
Just to add one more point, people were asking about virality. I forgot the exact question, but they were asking how to make something go viral. So I guess in the last week, Sayati has covered about how something gets viral. She has basically covered the epidemic part. So this is also one of the very interesting research areas, because you were also asking me what sort of research you can pursue in this area, the advanced topics. So this is one of those topics, and to add to that, fake news detection is one of the areas which is being worked upon these days, because on WhatsApp also, maybe you are aware of that thing, that on WhatsApp people are basically taking measures so that things don't go viral, and people, because if they have put restrictions on forwarding things. And just today itself, you might be aware that 1 hour back I was just watching the TV, and this Sri Lanka attacks just happened, very unfortunate event. So I was just listening to the news, and they were saying that there are rumors that people are spreading regarding the sources of these attacks. So I'm just trying to give you a perspective of the sort of things that are happening and the sort of measures that we can take. So in these situations, I'm just trying to tell you that in these situations you can use these concepts that you have learned. And so this is one of the important things, because this problem is existing, and it'll be nice if we can apply the social network concepts into the real situations, the real problems that are existing currently. So yeah, WhatsApp is using a whole lot of social network analysis, and so is Facebook. So there is no dearth of opportunities if you want to go deep into the research in this area. Yeah, sir, I'm done. If we can end up if you have nothing else to say as well.
Very nice way to end it, Anamika. I never knew of this Sri Lankan blast. Maybe I'll look it up.
Just now it happened. Very unfortunate event. Yeah.
I see. Let's look up. So yeah, that's true. Most of the events today, this is my suspicion. I may be totally wrong here, but I have a feeling that the Indo-Pak relations, especially this time from the past few months, it didn't escalate, probably because people could judge the mood of the population by looking at the social networks, right? And Imran Khan came about on YouTube and then gave a very nice. Convincing talk, and Modi ji also gave convincing talk, and that way we thought people saw and realized that there's no point in taking this any further, and the general mood of the population actually helped people to realize that things should not escalate any further. So social networks does play a major role, and we have seen that in the capturing of Saddam Hussein. If people didn't know, I can point you to a nice documentary which talks about it. And I strongly feel even Osama bin Laden's capturing had the major role to play was some of the standard social networks techniques, which I'm sure majority of the defense people in different countries are using right now. So it will be fun in general to see its application, not necessarily in situations such as this, but also in natural calamities, and how to have people vacate a place, communicate with each other in case of a natural calamity, and how to collectively raise your opinion, and how to collectively get together and then solve problems. Okay, so lastly, I would like to post my Facebook page where I get in touch with my students and course participants. So I have sent a link just now. Please click on it and then subscribe to it. I'll also be posting about my new courses and internship opportunities. Everything will be there. I'm sure most of you are on Facebook. you please follow this place for all the information. Thank you all very much. Wonderful session. Thank you, Anamika and Ravi Kiran. Maybe we can continue with the remaining session with the active people on SN Wiki offline right now. And thank you, someone who said we should start a podcast. We'll really think about that. Thank you, people. Bye bye.
Yeah, I'll stop this.
Yeah.